crime affects us all. Far too often, Madam Speaker, when this government is challenged on their record by the opposition and others in the society, they respond by saying that we want the government to fail. Indeed, Madam Speaker, the Minister of National Security said that he felt that only half of the society wanted him to succeed. I want to say, Madam Speaker, that when this government fails on crime, they are failing us all, regardless of your political party, regardless of your race or your religion. We all suffer when crime is rampant. And right now, Madam Speaker, when we look at the state of the country, every single person in this country will tell you that crime is completely out of control. So before members of those opposite accuse me of wanting them to fail, let me say, Madam Speaker, I do not want my children to be victims of crime any more than I would want children of the members opposite to be victims of crime. We all live in this society, and right now, we are all 1.3 plus million of us living in fear. But Madam Speaker, it comes down to the fact that when we take what is happening in our society, the PNM is not a real government, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, recently, the Honorable Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Rowley, he got angry with members of the public for using the expression, Trinidad is not a real place. The Prime Minister was so mad, he suggested that those of us, or the citizenry, who use that phrase could go to Ukraine. Well, Madam Speaker, I looked up some of the statistics, and according to the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, Global Study on Homicide, the murder rate in Trinidad and Tobago in 2020 was 28.2 per 100,000 population. And on the other hand, Madam Speaker, the murder rate in Ukraine in 2020 was 5.5 per 100,000 population, according to the UNODC report. So therefore, Madam Speaker, in 2020, what we had was that Trinidad and Tobago had a significantly higher murder rate than Ukraine. So let me put that in the record, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I take this opportunity, in as much as we are in this particular debate, but I would just veer off slightly, Madam Speaker, to quickly say on the record that we are 1 year ahead since the commencement of the Russia-Ukraine conflict. And I would want to say on the record that I know for all of us, we wish peace at this point in time to that ongoing conflict. But Madam Speaker, returning to the motion at hand, Madam Speaker, people are so fed up of crime in Trinidad and Tobago, they just might be willing to go to the ongoing war in Ukraine just to get away from this failing government. Because for hundreds of thousands of people, Trinidad and Tobago already feels like a war zone. Madam Speaker, but of course, when people say that Trinidad is not a real place, Madam Speaker, humbly, I do not think that they mean that literally. They are also not being unpatriotic, Madam Speaker. Rather, they're utilizing irony to describe the almost surreal absurdity of a situation.